Hi there and welcome to the Dawn Show. Dawn Stensland-Menti here. Today we are shining the limelight on blood cancers and how you can help support people who are affected. This is really special. And then later I'm cooking up some special skinny chili recipe that's featured in the April edition of Jersey Man magazine. So stick around for that. We've got former Philadelphia Eagle Ken Dunek in the house. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're cooking it up. But my first two guests you're going to love because they're helping improve the quality of life for those affected by blood cancers. Cheryl Kalaluri, who's the president of Headstrong Foundation, and her son Michael, vice president of Headstrong Foundation. I want to welcome you here.
Thank you.
Good to see you here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
And I know that you just had your big Lime Ball hosted by my dear friend and another show host here at WMCN TV, Lauren Hart, and I hear it went great.
It was very, very special. And you know, our whole philosophy is to raise that awareness and, you know, improve our reach and just, you know, raise quality and improve quality of life for those affected by the disease and celebrate the life of our Nick and you know, just to make a true difference in his name.
So we're talking about your son Nick, your brother. So take me back to how this all happened. I think for every parent this is, you know, the cliche of your worst fear, that your son went in, your brother went in, and you thought he had a congested nose, right? Just one nostril that was stuffy.
Correct. And the doctors told me at some point in his life, he would need to have his adenoid removed. This was after some testing that he had undergone, some adenoid testing and some allergy testing. And I said, you know, I'm just not comfortable. I really would like your next available appointment.
And so that was Nick before, and then after. This is obviously when he's in his treatment.
Correct. So we went in for the adenoid ectomy, and when the doctor came out, he, you know,
you knew something was wrong.
I knew something was up. He wouldn't look at me, and he was kind of evasive and asked to speak to me in a separate room away from the general population. And I'm thinking, you know, what the heck? What's going on here? He asked me a plethora of questions and asked me about, you know, was there any weight loss or loss of appetite, fatigue, and, you know, all my answers were no. And he said, I didn't like the texture of the tissue. I'm concerned about lymphoma. And at that point, I knew nothing about the disease. I knew nothing, didn't realize the adenoid was part of the lymph system.
So I just want to get Michael involved because for you, this is your brother. So what were your ages at this point?
Nicholas was 19, I was 18. We had a passion for the game of lacrosse. We both accepted a scholarship together to go to Hofstra University.
So this is your best friend,
It was my best friend. It was my roommate at college, and you know, nothing but a bright future ahead of him. We're a week and a half into college, playing, practicing. Nick came home one day to get the procedure done, came back the same day, like no signs, no symptoms really. Never once cancer entered our mind, you know. And next day after the procedure, my parents were in the coach's office, and me and Nick had no idea whatsoever. We're in an 8 a.m. class, and we get out of class, both of us, two separate classes, and one coach was at his office, his building, and one was at mine. And they asked us they kind of escorted us over to the building, and we got to go down to the locker room because that was, we called it the Christmas day. That's when we got to pick all the equipment out. And my coach, John Danowski, who coaches Duke University now, said, can you come up to my office and help me carry some things down? So I'm like, yeah, absolutely, coach, why not? Be more than happy to help you out. And I walk in, and Nick had already gotten there. My parents were there, the coaches were there, our athletic trainers were there, there's counselors there. And as soon as I saw him, it was real. But Nick didn't have a tear in his eye. He was very focused on what needed to happen. He believed from day one that he was going to beat it. He had hope, and really, Nick was the type of individual, and I was actually thinking about it this morning, and we constantly, this is our favorite topic to talk about, but Nick was about everyone else and not himself. And unfortunately, in today's society and the way a lot of people live their life, it's really about them, and that's kind of the focal point of what they see in life. And Nick was the total opposite. Nick was always about everyone else, even way before this illness came into play. He was very active in the community, and he was just a very genuine individual that always would lend a hand to people to help him out any way, shape, or form.
And in fact, he thought of the charity. He thought of the nonprofit. He thought of Nick's House, right?
He did, yes.
Tell me about Nick's House.
So one of our initiatives that we have is we offer housing to people that are coming into Philadelphia for specialized treatment. And typically it's, you know, end of life or clinical trial. And the last thing they need to think about is where the heck are we going to stay or live during this process. And so we offer this property, this building in Nick's name. And it allows families to come in without the worry of, you know, costs. And they can focus then on the health and the care of their sick loved one, and it's been a privilege. We have a new family that I welcomed yesterday from Florida, and so they're from all walks of life and from all areas of our country. And we're so fortunate that we have the specialized treatment right here in our own backyard. And we were displaced at the end of Nick's life, and we were down at the NIH, and we were in a room, and it was sterile and small. We were very confined, and we thought, you know, he was the one that said, we need to do something about this, you know. And so it took us a little bit of time, but we believe in Nick and what we do. And so 2.5 years ago, we proudly opened it, and it's a beautiful facility. And everybody that comes in, they really feel a sense of home and a sense of relaxation, because we want people to come back from treatment and just to be able to unwind and, you know, have the day-to-day normal living, you know, to take place, whether it be paying their bills online or cooking a meal or doing laundry, and, you know, kind of just that sense of security. And so we're privileged to be able to offer that.
Oh, well, you've been such a blessing. I want to talk more about Headstrong and what you're doing and how you do this, because a lot of people would say, why are you doing this? And I know that this is something that tugs at your heart, and especially for you as a mom. We're going to talk more to you, and then later, of course, cooking up my skinny chili. It's all ahead here on The Dawn Show.